Welcome back to Modern Homestead, Alaska. I managed to break our main heat source and the way that we cook here on the homestead in South Central Alaska in the middle of winter when it's 18 degrees out. Let's get into it.
I don't think she broke it, but I think she warped it.
Okay, a little bit of story time, and we'll show you as we fix this stove. Here is what happened. It was a cold, blistery winter's day here in Alaska, and I put several very small pieces of wood in the cook stove. When you do that, it creates a very hot fire. It was about negative 13 degrees outside when I did it. I then went and got in the shower. I overheated this stove. What happened is there's some bars in there that we're going to show you. They overheated and they swayed down. This was going to be an issue because our alternate heat source was broken, which is our pellet stove over there in the corner.
That's supposed to be straight, folks. Got hot, and the weight of the fire block brick on top of it swayed it down, and so that's how hot that stove was getting right there.
So over Christmas, Aaron and I spent some time. We went and looked at doing like an oil heater or toyo, putting in a new pellet stove, something like that. Because in order to fix this, we have to shut it down. And in order to shut it down, we still have to have some form of heat in here. I'm excited to announce that in an upcoming video, Comfort Built has actually sent us all of the parts and pieces to completely redo this pellet stove, and we will be sharing that with you. We have decided to stay with our original pellet stove. It has been a workhorse. We've really enjoyed it. However, now that that is fixed, ironically, we can shut this guy down and fix it. So what happened was yesterday, Cody went to check the mail. The switch happened to come in that would fix the pellet stove, and she happened to get all of the parts and pieces to fix this stove. So we immediately started shutting it down, and that's where we're at now. Aaron has pulled the fire bricks out and started pulling out some of these. This is what I bent, and then we're gonna take you along as we get this set up, and then we have something exciting to go on top.
That's what the new one looks like. Jessica's, this is Jessica's artsy design. Didn't work so well. But as you can see, the problem was it's obviously hanging down, but it was hanging down low enough that we couldn't put enough, you know, it messed with the amount of wood we could put in, right? So it's down in our way. So hopefully we can get these ones in. So I'm only replacing this back bar. It's got a little bit of a bend to it, but it's not too bad. And I'm gonna save these other pipes for when it does get bad. But some of them have holes on one side and not the other, and then others have holes on both sides, so to let the airflow go through. So we just gotta really make sure we put the same bar back in the same location like it was. keyway. So then that keyway goes into this pipe, holds it at the right angle. Then when I put the screw in, it gives me 3 slots. So all that screw is doing is holding it and keeping it from going back this way so it can fall out. So you just take the screw out. Put this side back into here, line this up with the keyway over here on this side to my left, and then see I can slide it. So now got it there, I'm gonna push it that way, and then I'm gonna put my new screw in right over here to hold it tight so it can't move. When it can't move, it can't fall out. You can see, otherwise it just fall out. So now we put this other block back in here. Then brick. It's amazing how that stuff does not catch fire.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
All right, there is a total of 5 bars. I didn't manage to damage all of the bars, just 2 of them that really truly needed to be replaced. These were not cheap. It wasn't it was a simple fix, but getting things shipped up here to Alaska is never simple, and it takes time. So Aaron and I have made the decision we are going to save these 3 bars because they are interchangeable as long as a double hole one goes back where a double hole was, or a single hole one goes back where a single hole is. So this is what we're talking about. This one has holes drilled all the way through it, allowing the fire.
Yeah, scrub it down.
All right. So now that the stove is completely cooled down, I am going to scrub it because we got a new top to the stove. The jury's still out on how we feel about that top, but I can't wait to show it to you. However, I have had some questions on cleaning this stove. They just are dirty. It is what it is. It's the nature of the beast. And because wood is our heat source, and then we have an alternate heat source, whereas the average household would maybe have a heat source, and then wood would be their backup or their alternate, we live just opposite of that. And because this thing throughout winter is hot all of the time, it is hard to clean it. The steam can burn you, and then anything that you drop on this stove top literally ruins the stove. It is not cast iron. This is not a top. It is a painted metal, and so when you wash it and scrub it, it does take the color off of it, and then you can still condition it a little bit with oils and things like that. However, it doesn't operate like I thought it would operate when we got a wood cook stove in the first place. I thought it would be more like a cast iron top that just seasoned like a cast iron pan does, and that there wouldn't be these scratches and scrapes where pans and different things have been on the stove. Nor did I expect that it would stain or ruin the stove when drips and things get on it. And because it is our heat source and where we cook our food, there is going to be drips and stains and scratches and all of that. So that is something we just had to get used to and deal with it, that it doesn't always look as pretty as we thought it would. I would never do this with the stove hot, and I also wouldn't normally use such a harsh cleaner as something like a barkeeper's friend. However, she needs a deep clean.
I'm glad you decided to go with one of those.
You are? Yeah. I love it.
I wish it was a little more beefy, but I like it. So these are some new enameled cast iron plates, covers for the top that Jessica wanted since the beginning. We picked them up for her, made a little surprise for her, got these when I ordered those bars to replace those bars, but this will make it easier for her to clean the surface. This stuff will wipe off a lot easier than this will. It'll actually hold some more heat in here, transfer some more heat to the inside of the house. And you know, like I said, the best part about it is just be a lot more cleanliness for us. Instead of being, like Jessica said earlier, once you drip it and it's super hot in here, it's really hard to get it off these surfaces. So hopefully this helps her out. We're gonna lay them down and see what they look like. Which way do you want that? I mean, if you want to go this way or put this over here.
I don't really know yet.
Like that, yeah. I think the same side. People like me.
So there are several issues, and for the price that Aaron paid for these as a gift, they're not what we would expect, and so right off the bat, we're probably not recommending these. If you have a JA Roby and you're thinking about getting these, I don't know that I would. The quality just isn't there. Let me show you some flaws. So there's a big bubble in the enamel right here, and then there's a huge dent in the cast iron and then the enamel there, and then it doesn't fit exactly on the surface like we were told that it would. So when we watched kind of some videos on these, they looked a lot more fantastic. Now some of the bonuses is you can actually cook straight on the surface. I don't know that that's something I'm going to do. The fact we could take them off and wash them and clean them, they're supposed to be more protecting. And then Aaron just laid them side by side, and
Not even the same size.
they're not even the same size.
Doesn't line up. Pretty irritating. Stuff like that bothers people like me. I just supposed to be the same size. Yeah, not super impressed yet.
And then just so they know, how much is something like this in addition? Like $900, right?
Yeah, about $1,000. Yeah.
So they're extremely expensive, and we thought they would fix the top that made the cook stove not look so beautiful when you came in, and yet the whole front is still exposed, which is where the drips mostly go. It does cover the issues where we have it, and then but just the flaws in these cook plates, not super impressed. So we'll let you know if they work out, if they do help at all. I'll just keep you posted as we go. It's a clean firebox. Aaron's decided he wants hamburgers for dinner, and I thought I would get some of these farm fresh, homegrown potatoes and just do a simple potato salad as a side dish. So I just need to wash up some of these potatoes. You don't pre-wash the potatoes out of the garden. The dirt kind of helps them set up. However, it makes for very dirty potatoes, so they've got to get. I'm just going to chop the potatoes and I'm going to boil them in a pan that I'm going to use to make the sauce or the topping, which will just be like bacon and onions and some vinegar. Really simple, like German style potato salad. And so I just like to dice the potatoes to bite-sized pieces. Look at that. Looks like a pea. While the potatoes boil, I thought I would do some prep work. Because we are having hamburgers tonight, I thought I would just split this onion in half, use half for the potato salad and half for the hamburgers. So.
What is you?
No, it's perfect.
Now we're gonna try making some burgers, right? So I tried it last time and I really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna see if the family likes it. I put a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, if that's how you say it. The W sauce, it's a lot easier, and that's actually the kind that I bought. And so we're gonna try it out, put that on the meat, mix it all up. I have 1 pound of meat in here as of right now.
In the same pan over here, we're cooking together. I'm throwing down just some diced bacon, and I'm just gonna let that render. Have at it.
Then I put a little bit of onion powder in here. And I also put in rancher steak rub. And I like to put it in here, and then instead of just doing the seasoning on top of the hamburger, I like to put it in here and mix it all up, then make my patties and the seasonings and everything throughout the whole hamburger instead of just the crust on the outside. So that's how I like to do it. The more you mix it, the denser it compacts the meat, so it makes a really dense hamburger instead of being a little looser like ground beef. And so I also enjoy that. Some people don't, but it makes it a lot denser hamburger. So just watch how much you mix it if you don't like it as much. All right, so now we're gonna try out the new stove top that we bought. We're gonna give it a shot. I think I'm probably gonna wanna move that, Jessica. Now we're gonna preheat this pan a little bit, get a little bit of butter going in it, and then I'll get my burgers cooking.
Now that the bacon's done, I'm gonna throw in that half of an onion. Scrape up any bit to the onion and bacon. Because there's a lot of potatoes, they can handle a lot of salt. Hello, Roberto. The pepper. To the onions and bacon, I'm gonna do a good shot of apple cider vinegar. I'm gonna shut off the heat in with the potatoes. They'll absorb all that beautiful flavor. We're gonna test it for seasoning. This can be served cold, hot, or at room temperature, however you like it. Little pepper.
Okay, so now we're gonna go ahead and start cooking these burgers up here.
our chickens lay an abundance of eggs in the spring, and so we went ahead and water glassed some of those eggs. I am now in need of them. So we are going to try the water glassed eggs, and what you want to do is get the egg out and you want to thoroughly rinse and wash the egg to get that lime off of the coating. And Wyatt's favorite way to eat hamburgers is with a runny yolk egg on the top. So we're gonna fry up a couple of these and see how they do. Let's preheat this pan and see if we can't fry up one of those eggs. How's your burgers looking, babe?
They're gonna be down in a second. You got the cheese on.
Oh, perfect.
All right, now we got the cheese on the burgers. Came out really good, looking good. We're gonna get them on the plate and eat them up. What do you need?
The spatula.
This one?
Yeah.
What? Sit.
You ready to eat, buddy?
Look, Wyatt, Mom even cooked you an egg.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome, buddy. Why? What is this?
Mayo.
No. Your white bread.
Oh yeah, I like it on white bread. I don't, yeah, it's just the way I like it. It's messy, soggy white bread is made a good burger.
What is it, Wyatt? Show us that burger. Pick up that plate.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Let's pray. Thanks, good. The cook stove is working fantastic. It held its heat through the night. I didn't want to end this video without letting you know kind of after working with it a little bit, just not even 24 hours, how it's doing. It is doing great. We're getting used to these cook plates that are on the top here. Jury's still a little out. How are they gonna hold up? Were they worth it? All of that fun stuff. But I'm going to make breakfast. I always pre-boil the potatoes. They're not soft, they're still kind of firm, but that's what makes potatoes fluffy on the inside and it gets a nice, beautiful crust on the outside. We're gonna do potatoes and sausage with some of those eggs that we are having to dig out and just have a really nice breakfast on the wood cook stove. There's nothing wrong with them.
What's the white stuff in there?
It's the lime. Perfect. Out of a whole half gallon of eggs, we didn't get a single bad one. So that's actually pretty good numbers. Oops.
Oh, take out the fan.
I know, take out the fan. I threw some slices of cheese on it, and now I'm gonna put it in the oven. Oh, that's perfect. Well, thanks for being here with us today. I just wanted to let you know, I didn't just wanna, like I said a minute ago, close out and not at least give the full story. The stove is doing fantastic. In fact, I am sweating. It is so hot in here. And Aaron and I are getting ready to head outside. It's the last nice day before we head back into sub-zero negative temperatures here in Alaska, and we have a bunch of chores that we need to get done. So hot breakfast it is. It turned out beautifully. I'm gonna serve up a slice. Ah, look at that. Perfect. And we'll see you in the next video. Bye.